What's up guys, Neverlani here and welcome back to a new video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. If not, just hit the like button. Today I would like to show you how I shoot my B-rolls. Not always, but most of the times. One second, I forgot my other camera. Here. Right now I'm filming with the Canon EOS R and the RF 35mm f1.8, and it's really sunny, so I haven't any filter on. Anyways, I would like to show you how I shoot my B-rolls, and I'm gonna do it with only one lens for the Canon 90D, and it's gonna be the 10 to 18mm. It's very wide, and with the Canon EOS R using the RF 35mm f1.8. First of all, I say I'm gonna shoot it in slow motion. Why? Because it looks cinematic, right? Yeah, okay. It does look good. I mean, when you shoot in slow motion, it looks awesome. But we should not always use it, you know. We should not abuse slow motion because, well, guys, what does it mean cinematic that you see in the movies, right? Think about it. When you watch a movie, how often do you see a slow motion sequence? But again, I know, slow motion looks dope. So why am I gonna shoot in slow motion today? Just because it looks cinematic? No, it's because I'm gonna shoot completely handheld. When you shoot handheld, it's almost impossible to get some stable footage. It'd be all shaky even if I use a wide lens. So unless I put the camera on a tripod or a monopod or a gimbal, it would be almost impossible for me to produce anything stable and held. For example, if I try to shoot something here, like in real time speed, not in slow motion, and I try to keep it stable, I'm trying hard to keep it stable, back and forth, and panning. I'm sure it won't look very stable, even though the lens is stabilized. With slow motion, it's easier. Still challenging, but doable. Let's go on. How do I shoot it? The first thing I do is an establishing shot. What's an establishing shot? It's a shot where you show the place almost entirely to introduce the viewer to what is going to see in the footage. So, let's see, here I have a park. There are people around, like, hanging out. So let's do this. The slow motion here with the Canon 90D would be 120 frames per second in 1080. Shutter speed 250, ready to rock. It could be a panning, tilting, or like a dolly shot. So here. I'm gonna try to keep it as stable as possible because I'm not using a gimbal, I'm not using anything, just my hands. I'll try to keep my elbows attached to my body to get as much stabilization as I can. Also here. Okay, done. Then I need to catch some details. It could be a bench, a tree, or a fence. Like anything. And of course, the B-roll would look much better if there was some movement, some action. That's to be like if you're telling a story. But even if there's nothing, you can find a way to make it interesting, like showing details, or if there's something particular about the place, something unique. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the Canon EOS R and the 35mm. Now, this is my Canon 90D with the 10 to 18mm and so much wider, isn't it? And I'm gonna do the same thing with the Canon EOS R. I'm gonna start with the establishing shot. Of course, I do it more than once because, you know, it's very difficult to get it right at the first shot. So I do it like a couple of times. I mean, I repeat the same movement like 2 or 3 times, sometimes even more. Then I will see in post and I will choose the best part, because all I need is a couple of seconds of stable footage. Try to keep my elbows as close as possible to my body. Now do some panning. Basically, I just rotate my body, like my upper body, like this. I can move relatively fast because, you know, it's gonna be slow motion, so it's gonna be slower and hopefully smooth. And now some details. When I shoot something like above me, like trees for example, or street lights, to do the rotation, rotatory movement, I just do it like this, keeping my arms steady and just rotating the camera and going with my upper body with it, rotating everything. So not only the arms, the entire upper body. Like man, it's so hot. Now, some action. So, this is how I shoot my B-rolls when I shoot in slow motion, more or less. The pieces I shot with the Canon 90D are in 1080, 120 frames per second. The ones with the Canon EOS R are in 120 frames per second, but in 720p. Can you see much difference? I very often use 60 frames per second, but this time I wanted the footage of the 90D and the EOS R to be the same speed. Just let me know what you think about it in the comment down below, if you notice a major difference in quality, and since you're there, hit the like button and subscribe if you ain't already. And check the links in the description to see all my gear stuff and things, my gear. Check the link to Epidemic Sound, and you can get 1 month of awesome music and sound effects to use in your videos for 1 month for free. Alright, so the sun is really hot and I'm using an ND filter, otherwise it would be impossible to film right now unless I use an aperture of f16 or f22 or something. But right now I'm using f2.8 and the maximum aperture of this lens is f1.8, the 35mm RF. So now the pieces I shot with the Canon 90D were shot with the 10 to 18mm, and the pieces I shot with the EOS R were shot with 35mm, a little tighter and with a wider aperture, with more of a shallow depth of field. So I believe I can put something together, I mean a single B-roll out of it. Let's see it. I didn't mention, for what concerns the Canon 90D picture style, picture profile, or picture style, like they call it at Canon's. It's Technicolor Cine style because it gives you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to contrast, but I saw that if you use the neutral, there isn't much difference. And for what concerns the Canon EOS R, I shot in C-Log. Alright, so let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, do all this stuff, and that's all I had to show you and say. I gotta go play with my son a little bit. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you ain't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.